pretty wild. We're already at volume 20 for both Eden Zero and this small series that I've been doing, was just comparing the volume covers for Mashima's series. And so we're going to be looking at the volume 20 set for Rave Master, Fairy Tail, and Eden Zero today. So firstly, we'll look at Rave Master. One thing that Mashima has always had my attention with when he does covers where it's more set up with using pretty much the whole frame of the cover. There's a little bit of that kind of like blue edge on this one. You can't see because it's covered by the Fairy Tail image, but I'm a huge fan when Mashima uses more of the cover. Not always, like the way that he does it with like Fairy Tail and Eden Zero War now, where he has a frame and will do stuff with it, I still like, but I'm a huge fan of when he kind of breaks out of that. Like there's volume 30, I believe, for Fairy Tail, when he's got Acnologia on it, just taking up the full cover. And I think that just looks great, and he's done that to a degree with the Rave Master cover, and I like that a lot. He's used a lot of interesting colors, like a lot of tans, kind of like a whitish silver, and that like brownish tan color. It kind of gives it a really calming setup, and I think that works really well with kind of understanding this volume. It's just that, again, the idea of like the calm before the storm. You can look at Aru's Willing Sacrifice there. You got Shuda and Deep Snow in the back, Lucia just looking ominous right there as well. There's a lot like going on right here quietly, and I like that a lot about this volume cover. I think this is a really nice one. Definitely one of Mashima's better with Rave Master, because Rave Master had that early in his career flair to Mashima's volumes where he would just do stuff like them for the snowboarding cover. But anyway, look at the Fairy Tail one. The one thing I really like the Fairy Tail one more about, like just his general frame format, is I like that this one is made more like a set of panels in the background, and the main character of, well, the main character of the volume cover, not just the main character of the manga itself, but like when they have the panels, but then they format a character kind of like standing in front of it, not the way that Shiki is like on his, because like Shiki's background is more kind of that cover poster setup, kind of like, you know, it's just made to kind of like set the cool picture, and he's standing in it, you know, trying to represent like his main character status and his new stance and the time skip and whatnot. But with Natsu, it's like he's standing in the panels, and the way that his is set up, I could see this like being a panel in the manga. Not obviously like the context is all over the place with this one, but I mean I could see it, because the way that it could work is like you just would have some scene where all these different events are happening, and maybe like Natsu realized something, he's about to fight somebody while all this is happening. Like, you know, I'm sure everybody else has seen like at least one other chapter where it's had a character format like this in like a scene. I just think that's really cool. It's not a great cover, like I said, it's a good one. I think it looks nice in the way that Natsu's in the background. My favorite thing is definitely the way that Mashima did the frame and fill of the title with that red outline and this metallic silver and white filling. I think that looks really cool. Definitely one of my favorite ones for how he does the whole formatting for the title on the volume covers for Fairy Tail. So with Eden Zero though, my two favorite things, I like the solid blue. It sets like, again, a cool tone. It's like a kind of a somewhat serious. It goes with Shiki obviously now being with his time skip design, having the more serious face. There's two things specifically, well, like 2.5 things, because one half thing is I was surprised that the Kaide Cosmos like sky, it was blue and red. I guess that makes sense with LC and Homura, and not LC and Homura, LC and Justice, but I figured it was gonna be black and white. That's just what I assumed, I guess, but either way. And then the color for Rebecca's Overdrive, I was not a fan of her Overdrive reveal because it was a little weird, but I think the coloring looks really nice here. I didn't think the colors would be this blue with the white hair, but I think that looks really good. It makes sense too, obviously Blue Garden and stuff, but it looks better than I expected, and that kind of like blue tint to the white hair I think makes it look really good. Besides that, I really like I said, the color tone, and it goes really good with the idea obviously of now Shiki and this couple years older. He's the only one that really aged much. But then the only funny thing that I find about it is, like, when you think about like the characters, they, for the most part, they have their like their own casual wear, like what they pick to wear, and then there's like parts and stories where they have like specific wearing for that arc because of whatever happens in the events. But with like Shiki, Haru, and Natsu, when you look at their kind of base outfits, they're usually like an improvement upon them. Whereas like I get why Natsu's design after like once he gets like the long sleeve and stuff, I get that, because like based off like his lifestyle, like you've seen his house and stuff, I don't expect him to have a lot of clothing or a lot of variety. He just seems to kind of like what he likes and live not like with a ton of stuff. Whereas like Shiki, like they have the whole dress up factory in the Eden Zero, and all he really did was change his shirt. It's funny because his overdrive, like they showed his improved overdrive in a recent chapter, and it looks improved. Like it looks like that version evolved a little bit. Like you can look at some of Haru's designs and you look at like when he gets like the cool coat like this, and you can see like how his design improves. Shiki's is weird because like this one, like he just has that on like a different shirt. I really like that one that Mashima did where he had kind of more like a military style to him. I thought that would have been really cool if he maybe took kind of the format that he had in his previous design but made it look a little bit more serious, or like added a coat onto it, and then you don't know that his more kind of casual wear is under it, and he has like, you know, that kind of 2 layers where it's like captain of the Eden Zero Shiki, and then under it's, you know, goofy Shiki who just wants to hang out with his crew and go on adventures and stuff. There's definitely a like a big question mark with that. Be like, why did you keep everything else, but why did you get a different shirt? What happened to your shirt then? Because clearly you don't seem to want to like switch stuff out too much. So like, what happened to that shirt? You just want a black shirt now? I don't know. Either way, it's a good volume cover. It's nothing crazy. To be perfectly honest, like I wasn't too sure on where I was gonna pick with this one, because I saw the Eden Zero one and I was like, it's a good one, nothing crazy, and I couldn't remember exactly which 20 is for the Rave Master and the Fairy Tail ones. And this gauging where the Fairy Tail was, like there's some volume covers in this area that are really good, and there's some volume covers rather that are kind of all right. This is one that's all right. It's good, nothing crazy. I'd say the Rave Master one is definitely my favorite. I really like how the color and the way that it's formatted kind of really good, especially like the background as well. Like I said, it has that calm before the storm. And if you were looking at this, like if you were reading the manga and say you got the volume cover, or the volume, you looked at the volume cover, we're trying to figure out clues, and you kind of see that calmness, but then you spot Sacrifice. It's like, okay, things are gonna get a little aggressive in this. They're gonna get a little violent. But yeah, but other than that, and then obviously you know, shoot in Deep Snow that's a sick fight. But anyway, other than that though, comment below, tell me your thoughts about this. Which volume cover was your favorite? And I don't know, like did anyone else have it, like do they disagree with any of my takes? I guess mine's more of opinion, so it's not really something you could get too kind of crazy at. Anyway, other than that, comment below, thumbs up the video, prefer like button, subscribe, and check out my other videos. From there, appreciate you always subscribe, and thank you all for listening. Bye.